Yo, hi guys. Oh, my bad. The intro, my bad. Yo, how you guys doing? Yeah, mind me hopping and jumping. Welcome all today. Welcome all today. I didn't know how to start this out. Low key, I planned for yesterday. I was planning today's video, and when I was doing the thought out planning, I had two options, right? It's either I talk about it like say like the downfall of Western animation, but then I realized that it's difficult. Or I could just say the downfall of Western media. When I mean like media, I'm mainly talking about like a lot of stories. You know what I mean? A lot of movies and films. Not like I'm speaking for all, but there were great movies that came out this year. Um, there were different types of series that were actually good. So I'm not talking about those. I'm just talking about like the ones that they keep advertising or people it's always in people's mouths, but it's always a negative. So and they have a lot of those. You know what I mean? Like like generally speaking, like American shows are not American shows no more. They're not what they used to be. To the dead ass, they're not what they used to be. Like animation is not what it used to be. No, the series are what they used to be. You know what I mean? I don't know whether it was because of the liberal movement, the woke movement that happened back in 2020, right? That whole thing, and where they had to change the entire generalization of their stories and their plot lines and all of that to cater to people. And it's not also just that, like besides them trying to cater to people, a lot of companies like trying to go with this corporate executive movement just to make everybody happy. I think what I'm getting at is that the lack of telling stories, if that makes sense. I don't know how to do it, but like a lot of shows are not the same. A lot of cartoons are not the same. Back then with DreamWorks, when they were hitting bangers after bangers, Sinbad, where else is there? Shrek, Boots and Boots. You know what I mean? Okay, Boots and Boots was a success, and then they come for Panda, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? 4, but 1, 2, 3. And where else? I remember seeing somebody. I said Sinbad. No. Oh, El Dorado. Come on. Those are fantastic shows. Although they did have slight adult themed jokes to it, but it was nice. It was fantastic. That's my childhood right there. And I assume that they'll continue with that vibe. You know what I mean? Back then when films used to be filming. You know what I mean? Where they put you in a lot of emotions. I don't know what happened with the change. I don't know who insisted on such said change, but like it's not what it used to be. I'm just saying. I know people have to accept change, and some stories just love because of nostalgia. But at the end of the day, you can kind of see what I'm pointing out is that it's a failure. A lot of shows, like reality shows, not the Kim Kardashians. Fuck, I hate reality shows. But like Survivor. Back then Survivor used to be nice. Yeah, it used to be nice. It used to be frustrating. In a sense for them, not for me. For me, it was just pure entertainment. But it used to be nice. Nowadays, Survivor's not surviving. I don't know. They should just stop. Top Gear. Top Gear had its own controversy conversation. Maybe it's because of the time. People are more of aware of people when they say certain things that are necessarily not jokes. It's just crude, ignorant type of talk. But at the end of the day, there's those. But censoring everything just to make a majority of people feel happy is meh. And producing certain content and telling me, how can I put it? Let me use Tyler Perry as an example. So Tyler Perry released his new little show.
Open your mouth. You don't think I see all the men that have been up in there? Yeah, I finished Beauty in Black, and at this point, I don't blame Tyler Perry. I blame myself, because after watching For Colored Girls and Mia Culpa, I said I was done. I said that's enough. The first 3 minutes of this series had me wanting to peel my skin off. But of course, I stayed. Somebody on Twitter summed this up perfectly. Tyler Perry wrote Beauty in Black through the lens of a 13-year-old horny teenager, and the strip club is the #1 destination on their bucket list. Because
Low-key, that is just pure that's corn, dog. That's just bona fide corn. That's something I could find on those websites. You know, just something I could find on those websites. And the storytelling, I couldn't watch it because I'm not a big fan of watching a show and there's a repetitive, constant scenes like that. You know, what's the fucking point? What kind of plot is this? You get me? Because Jav can do it better.
What do you mean by that?
Mind that behavior. I'm just saying though, that's what I'm talking about. Like they censor things that are unnecessary, censored, but then they really push this a narrative and agenda forward. That's what I mean when I'm talking about like the fall of Western media, is because low-key being dead ass. A lot of shows are ass and a lot of movies were ass. This entire year, there's only, I can name a handful. I have not even watched all of it, but it's ass, like generally speaking, because the film that I watched this year had to be Deadpool. Fantastic. I didn't watch Gladiator 2. It didn't like Gladiator, like on the topic of like the fall and a lot of ass movies, Gladiator 2 to me personally just seemed like a failure. I don't know why. I didn't watch it. My opinion is because I saw a few people watch it and they had a review of it. Some titles were saying like Denzel Washington had a gay scene. He kissed another man.
This is disgraceful! So in Gladiator 2, they cut out the Denzel Washington kissing scene. He was kissing a man, by the way. Imagine you're doing this movie, yeah? You get a part where you have to kiss a man and you're thinking, fuck, I don't know about this one, but you know what? Yeah, let's just try it. You do the scene and possibly have retakes as well, just to make it good. And then they just cut the scene. They're just like, you know what, fuck.
Why you do that to Denzel? Why? You make Denzel cry, now you make Denzel kiss another man. You're just doing Denzel dirty. Like, come on now. Like, you see what I'm trying to say is that, like, generally speaking, a lot of media has failed. And does that, like, K-dramas have it better, because when it comes to quote-unquote romance, it's a romance because it's a slow burn. Not like a slow burn in romance, but it's a step by step, you know. Instead of like the first 2 episodes or the first like 2 scenes, they're already in the works. They're doing the freaking nasty. You get me? That's what I mean. Like the difference between it, and then that's why I understand why K-drama is a very popular thing in Western media nowadays, because of what Western media is trying to portray to people. You deep it, you get it. You know? And like also with the animated films, there's so many ass. No, I'm being honest with you. It's ass. It's ass. Like everything I seen, it was ass. It was ass. It was ass. Hold on, let me see if I can find something like that like quote unquote speaks about this. Give me a moment.
One hour later.
Teenage Kraken, that's the film. Ass. I'm sorry, it's ass. It's ass.
Turning Red 2, I mean Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. Yeah, this one wasn't for me. I really wanted to like this one, but it's so forgettable. I thought I'd be able to compare and contrast Ruby Gillman to this movie, but I really can't. I could probably compare it to this shit. It's got some similarities to this. But I mean, I went back and saw this movie a second time. I really can't say that about Ruby Gillman. Tell me if you've heard this before. Our main character is a quirky teenager who is having a difficult time agreeing with her mother because she wants to go to the Four Town concert. I mean prom. She wants to go to prom. And she has a group of quirky friends. Really quirky friends. Isn't that so different and new? But uh-oh, the main character's mother is keeping a secret from her. The women in their family, only the women, turn into giant red krakens. They turn into krakens. And Ruby has a grandmother who also turns into the giant kraken, who has a poor relationship with her own daughter. If you haven't guessed the rest of the plot, you don't want spoilers, swipe away. Alright, so we got all of that. Got this cast of characters who I only remember 2 of their names. Got Ruby and Chelsea. But Chelsea isn't who she says she is. In this universe, the mermaids are evil. And there's this trident that the Krakens hid away that could kill Krakens. And if the mermaids get it, they can take power. She befriends Ruby, but oh no! Liar revealed, twist villain. Wow! And then she gets defeated in the end. And her mom is like, I'm sorry, no more secrets. And she lets her do her own thing. But there's also this weird line at the end where they're like, oh, well, you know, a mother knows best. Yeah, that doesn't contradict the plot at all. On the subway ride home after seeing this, the more I thought about it, the more I didn't like. And I just kept thinking about how this was the last DreamWorks movie we got. This masterpiece. This incredible film that took risks and did something different. Film that visually portrayed anxiety in a way that's realistic. This is probably the most well-done panic attack I've ever seen in a family-friendly film. In this one, there's this scene where Ruby finds out she's like a princess kraken, and her grandma's like, address the crowd! And she's just sitting on the throne, and she's like, I am having a panic attack. And the crowd just cheers. It was so weird, man. And I'm sorry, I don't like these character designs. This felt like an hour and a half.
The only saving grace that we have to do, DreamWorks has fallen off. Just gonna be honest, DreamWorks has fallen off. Disney has been a fall off.
Disney then versus now. Why is her mouth so big, bruh? Oh, no, I see what they trying to say. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Disney nowadays is, like, I don't know how to say this nicely. They're very inclusive. And for that very reason is why Marvel is so ass right now. Because, you know, Disney owns Marvel. They're more worried about pushing an agenda than writing a good story. You feel what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, their message is not a bad thing. But, like I said, the story should come first. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, you know what I'm saying? Got Buzz Lightyear. Bro, Disney used to hit back then. Oh my god! All these movies are legendary, bruh. Every single last one of them. Even Soul.
How did Disney hold the 2000s by its balls and then fall off? Make that make sense, dog. But yeah, that's what I mean when I'm speaking about the fall of Western media. Besides the Spider-Verse, which is a success, frankly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed so much that I wheeled it back yesterday. No, I kept the day before yesterday. I wheeled it back. I think it was Sunday. Maybe I watched it Sunday. I don't remember when I watched it, but I watched it and I enjoyed it, every second of it. Why? Because it's an actually good movie. Animation, characters, plot and story. It's not trying to shove a narrative in your face. That's the issue. They're trying to shove a narrative in your face. That's the conclusion. I had to say that, but like, let me just like zoom into your face. Western media of today is purposely trying to shove a narrative in your face, and which is wrong. The point I'm trying to make is, when it comes to making a film, when it comes to making a show, when it comes to making animation, the thing is, don't shove something down. Don't force things down people's throats and make them accept it. It loses the purpose of what story you're trying to portray. You deep in, you get me? You get me? Deep in, you get me? Don't try to shove a narrative down people's throats when it's unnecessary. Somebody wrote a fantastic story. Just stick to what it's written, like a book. Not all books are successes, let's just be honest. Like, there's ass of books with just ass. Anyway, what I'm saying is, someone wrote a nice book. The book has a lovely choreography, it has a nice fandom, beautiful fandom. And when somebody announces that, like, yo, making this into a live action or a show, whatever, but then when you as a fan gets excited to see said show, and everything changes. The character that distinctly says has white hair or like green eyes, you know what I mean? Like white hair, green eyes. Why is the character blonde? It's just like, I'm just making it as like a thought, like saying like I'm just saying like, why change what is already a blueprint for you to focus on? That's my issue when it comes to certain medias, is when they not focus on what is handed to you. So besides all me ranting about that, let's just move that to the side. Push, just push. Okay, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that Western media has fallen, and the only way it can succeed is by not shoving narratives in people's faces. Hold on. Someone might have talked about this. Somebody might have spoken about this already. And I'm just coming out of nowhere with a topic that is not new. But it's just something for you to realize that, hey yo, I haven't been into shows as late, because shows are not showing no more. They're trying to shove a narrative down your throat, trying to put characters that really have no character in your faces, and saying that you should love the character, which you should not, because what is there to love if the character's bland and nothing to it? Like, that's why Doctor Strange failed for me personally. Wonder was nice. I enjoyed Wonder. Agatha was nice. I enjoyed Agatha. What else was it? I guess She-Hulk was ass. Yeah, that was ass. Like, I know people already talking about this, but the fall of Mr. Medias. Gladiator 2, have not seen it, but I can just tell it's ass. And plus, with the reviews I've seen so far, I'm already saying it's ass. Tyler Perry's Black Show is ass because, first and foremost, why must it always have a struggling character? I'm tired of seeing struggling characters. Besides that, let me just get to the point. Like, I'm dead as tired of seeing characters struggle. Like, can I not have a character that is not from the struggle? I just want to see like a character growing. Like, for example, the character environment is not like a struggle, but it's like a middle, like, let me put it like this: the character is in between, has food on over his head, he knows what he's gonna eat tonight, etc. But like, he's like, the point of the character, he goes through a journey, right? Finding himself, trying to figure out these people around him to change his perspective. Or like, for example, a character who loves a boring world and wants excitement. You get me. Like, a character who finds the world boring, but at the end of the day, it was not the world that was boring. It's that the life he loved, that he found, that he was loving, is boring. And somebody came and changed his perspective on the world, like they do in anime. Some animes actually do that very well. But I'm just saying, like, you get me, you did me. I'm just saying, like, Western media nowadays has a small success, when back then they had every day was a success. Every film was just a success. There was like multiple films, shows, like, just one after the other was a banger. Nowadays Western media, people can count like 10 good films, or like 20 good films, movies, 20 good films, series, and animation. No, I mean, there's a handful of them. And a lot of people don't actually even pay attention to nowadays things, because they'll just rather go back and watch things from back then. because of what they're trying to portray and message and they send in nowadays. You get me deep in it. We're on the same page. But that's all for today's video. Honestly, Kardashians is also ass. Reality TV nowadays is ass. I guess. I don't know. I don't watch reality TV, so I can't really say it's all ass. Maybe I'll come back. I'm gonna watch maybe a reality show. I just can't do it though. It all seems so scripted to me. You can't tell me like every waking moment or every turn you take is just drama. Like the fuck. You can't tell me that's how actually people do love. Like every turning point is drama. Some days people just really don't have any progression in their stories. Some people just have a bland day. That's how they watch me. Anyway, besides all of that, Western media has fallen off. Nowadays, it's just a handful of things that we can count as really good or fantastic, and everything else is ass. That's all I'm gonna say. They shoot ass after ass after ass after ass after ass after ass. Ass. It's just ass. It's disgusting, bro. Let's just be honest. It's just. I can't express in words. That's why I'm using action to describe that. It's just ass. Like there's not a lot of good things. Anyway, besides that, that's all I have to say for today's video. If you watched it any like 5 minutes into the show, W. If you see in 3 seconds, wow. I mean, why did you even bother clicking if you're just gonna see 3 seconds? Like just give the man a chance. Like Brody, just give it. Never mind. But thank you y'all for the support you've shown me so far. And if you like the video, like it, comment me your thoughts. If you also have seen what I'm seeing, comment me as things you have seen so far, or comment me your general thoughts and concerns that it's either that this is gonna fail or are we gonna have some real directors, you know what I mean, real imagination, real creativity, real bona fide people who want to entertain instead of lecture. Oh my goodness, did you guys hear that bar? Did you hear that bar? That's a bar. Entertain instead of lecturing. But anyway, I digress. Comment me those thoughts. If you fucks with me, which you probably do, hopefully you actually do, but if you actually do, subscribe. If you do fucks, subscribe, Brody. Subscribe. It's free. It's generally just it's free. But anyway, besides me begging for subscribers like my rent is due, I hope you all have a lovely day, and I'll check you on the next one. Peace.